So, the Rainbow Six Siege Iceberg. Now, to start off, I just want to say that I know icebergs have kind of developed as more as memes than anything, but to me they're actually pretty interesting and a really good way to disclose knowledge that have otherwise been lost to time or just not a lot of people know about. So, I'm going to be going over a Rainbow Six Siege Iceberg. I actually got inspired from someone else doing a video off of a different R6 Iceberg, so I'm going to leave a link to his video on it. He did a much better job at covering his one, because he's not a bumbling idiot like I am. So please, go check him out, maybe after this video, if you choose to stick around, that is. Now of course, just a little disclosure that I am not a professional in any sort of way, and almost none of these I will understand. So, with that out of the way, let's begin at the sky of the Rainbow Six Siege Iceberg. I believe this is referring to when shields lost the ability to instantly ADS or aim down sights with their secondary or sidearm. Honestly, it was a really good change since it was seriously infuriating to die to. Just immediately, a fucking shield quick scopes you. This is just what the original 20 operators that were out on release called. You know, all the GIGN, SAS, FBI, Spetsnaz. Yeah, those guys. The original 20. Nothing much. Moving on. This is just referring to the fact that, you know, there's a house rework in the game now. House got reworked. Yeah, unfortunately this iceberg is outdated by a month or so don't be surprised if it contains any just knowledge that is obvious as shit. You just know. Everybody knows. I'm sorry. I'm fairly certain this is talking about when Legion's minds were changed, so they don't give the Legion an assist kill anymore. Yeah, it's nothing much. I guess it was way too easy to get assist kills as a Legion, so yeah, that's it. Moving on. So I know the footage I'm showing right now really doesn't show much at all, but back in the day, Blitz used to be stupid overpowered. Everybody hated this guy. Nobody liked playing against him. He was way faster than he currently is. He could flash you from way further away than he currently can. And again, with the pistol ADS that was in the game beforehand, it was just really, really annoying to face a Blitz. It still is to this day, of course, but not nearly as bad. Thank God Ubisoft nerfed the shit out of him. Of course, we all know about the skyscraper rework now in Neon Dome, but at the time, these guys did. So good job on them for successfully getting the skyscraper rework correct. Again, this thing is pretty outdated. It came out around the time that the Tachanka Elite skin was being leaked. Yada yada yada. And the rework too, I guess. So, yeah. Expect to see that on here later. Sorry, again. I just don't have anything to say here. It's already in the game, and we all know. Moving on. This is just talking about if more than one person on a team picks recruits, in the icon, the color of the beret will change. That's literally it. It's obvious, and everybody knows. Yeah. This is talking about the Halloween 2020 limited time team deathmatch mode. To be honest, I think this is pretty bad. Siege is just not the type of game to suddenly be turned into a team deathmatch game, because it just doesn't have the elements of it. Again, the case of we all know it, but they didn't, so good on them for leaking it correctly. I'm actually surprised it's further down the iceberg. since the Skyscraper rework came out later than Shadow Legacy. Yeah, it's whatever. Moving on. So of course there's not actually an Jackal Elite skin in the game yet, and I'm pretty sure one hasn't been leaked, but it's kind of like that situation where one of the outfits is just considered an elite skin, kind of like Buck before he had one with the Avalanche and Lumberjack set. This is just dumb and wrong. Zero is definitely the real Sam Fisher. Ubisoft wouldn't have any reason to add a fake one into the game. Yeah. Plus, all the information in his bio checks out. This is just wrong. I don't know why it's on the Iceberg. Moving on. This is a bug that would happen in the limited time game mode of Halloween 2019, Doctor's Curse. If a player joined a round before it actually started, they would instead spawn as a recruit instead of one of the monsters, or hunters, and they would have their guns. Of course, this gave a pretty unfair advantage, but depending on how you were trying to play, whether you were trying to win, or just taking it lightheartedly, it was either infuriating or pretty dang funny. I found it pretty funny when it happened to me. I'll let this clip play off so you can see exactly what the bug did. So I don't know where this comes from because I've never seen it before, but apparently there's this image of the Thatcher Elite skin, still with the gas mask on. However, I'm pretty certain this isn't official in the game. This is only concept art if Thatcher still had his gas mask on. I think I'd actually prefer it. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, I also don't know what this means either. The only thing I can guess is that some of the sites that are in the game are used by NATO. I don't know. I don't know at all, dude. I'm sorry. I just don't. Well, regardless, it's time we dive a little bit deeper. Of course, there are bound to be leaks in a game like this, and there has been for a long time, but I've never actually seen someone play actual, gameplay of something that a developer hasn't officially put into the game, even if it's just in test server. This is the only thing I could find when they were testing the Alda LMG on Warden. Yeah, this is literally all I could find. Moving on. In Operation Grim Sky, a huge recoil pattern change was released. This basically shit all over secondary SMGs, such as the SMG-11, SMG-12, and the Bearing 9. A lot of people hated this, of course, given that secondary SMGs are in the meta, and Ubisoft just threw that out the fucking window. I simply do not know what this means. This could just be them just, again, successfully guessing what's gonna happen in Neon Dawn with a Rooney coming into the game. I just have no clue. I'm sorry, but we're moving on. I'm not exactly sure if this is just referring to a fan concept, or if it's referring to the fact that you can customize the color of the optic in your scope, but I'm just not exactly sure. You can't make your own custom scope, you can't make your own custom optic, you can only change the color. That's it. Again, we all know this is in the game, but at the time they didn't. So, good on them for guessing Rooney would have DMR. Specifically the MK14, of course. Moving on. So there's a leak for a green weapon attachment skin that looks like the others from the battle passes before it. But of course, this appears to be fake, or Ubisoft switched it out, because it was supposed to be in Season 3, aka Shadow Legacy Battle Pass, but of course we didn't get that, we got the purple and golden one. So, again, either this was fake, it was wrong, or Ubisoft just switched this out for the new one. So a while ago, Warren got a pretty significant buff to his gadget. It's not really a rework, but it's still really good. Instead of it all depleting from when you use it, and you have to wait for it all to recharge to use it again, instead acts like Vigil's cloak, and will recharge from the point where you last turned it off. It's really good, and it actually makes him viable. Thank you, Ubisoft. Now, the Iceberg could be talking about that, or the leaks that Warden was going to have some weapon swaps. As I've mentioned before, they were testing out him with the Alda. But also, apparently, they're planning on giving him fucking Maverick's M4. What the fuck? Well, I doubt it's going to come into the game. And I'm fairly certain that the Iceberg was talking about the buff I mentioned first. So apparently there were some files found that had old operator names. Most of them make sense, the most being the 4 at the bottom: Twitch, Blitz, Pulse, and Mute. The only one I don't get is Ash. Wouldn't Bonfire be closer to Capito, and maybe even Thermite? I don't know. Moving on. But seriously, this running meme, which I will admit I still find funny, also sparked a lot of curiosity about what really is inside Smoke's canister. Well, that question was answered when Smoke's Elite skin was released. Right here on his hoodie, it shows the chemical formula for whatever that is. However you pronounce that, that's what's in Smoke's canister, and, you know, pretty cool to have the question finally answered. Old icons for the operators, specifically the Pathfinder ones, were found, and I'll be honest, a lot of them don't make any sense. They look kind of cool, but again, they really don't make any sense. The most sense I can make is Pulse because of the heart. Something else I just couldn't find anything on. Sorry. I don't know what it means. I couldn't find any icon for Nook. That isn't what it is. I'm sorry. Moving on. Of course, we all know the disaster and disappointment that was the Legacy game mode. Of course, these guys didn't. Once again, they predicted it, they found it in the files, and they leaked it. So good for them. But again, this game mode was awfully disappointing. There are apparently black ice shield skins in the game, and although I've never seen footage of it myself, or opened one myself, I personally believe that they do exist. Of course, I am in no position to say facts on whether they are real or not, but again, I just think they are. And also, apparently, unlike other black ice skins for guns, they aren't epic, they're legendary rarity. Don't know why Ubisoft would do that, but okay. Yeah, I don't even need to say anything. It's self-explanatory. Moving on. Back when Siege first began, almost every operator had an ACOG for their gun. That's it. Moving on. Jeez, these are all fucking self-explanatory. Well, if you don't know what a data miner is, it's someone who goes through the game's files to try and find things developers are working on. Simple as that. Moving on, once again. Dude, what the fuck does that even mean? We already did smokes canister. What the fuck is this talking about? I have no idea. Moving on. Okay, finally something I can fucking talk about. Okay, well, I don't know why this is so down deep in the iceberg. It's a whole ass operation, but basically what it was a bug fix operation, if you would say. Basically, Ubisoft needed more time to fix all the bugs that were in the game at the time, so they delayed Operation Blood Orchid to make sure that they had enough time to try and fix these bugs. And guess what? It ultimately led to absolutely fucking nothing being fixed, and just even more problems. Yeah. And of course, we can't forget the oh so memorable meme in the Siege community. I'm assuming this is talking about a mistake that somehow got into live servers, where the house rework was being on the live servers. I couldn't find any footage of this, so I don't know if it's real or not. Moving on. Around the time the Tachanka rework was still being leaked, Ubisoft released this skin. So of course people saw the new LMG and knew that the new Tachanka rework had to be in the game somewhere. Of course, shortly after, the Tachanka rework was officially released. I have no fucking idea why this is on the Iceberg. It's just something people do to get a spawn peak. Like, seriously, I have no idea why this is here. Moving on, right now. I'm pretty sure this is referencing that Ubisoft wants there to be more than 100 operators in the game before they stop making operators. I'm sure they won't stop officially working on the game. Of course, this may be something about files being found about more than 160 operators in the files, which I guess makes sense to have them ready, but I don't know. I haven't found any kind of evidence of that, so I'm just going with Ubisoft wants there to be a lot of operators in the game. I'm guessing that if someone was using the buck skin, the whole server would just end up crashing. Although I was able to find absolutely no footage or evidence of this happening, so I can't say this is true or false in any way. Moving on. This is talking about the E3 trailer in 2014 that shows quote-unquote gameplay, which is clearly just an animated trailer, which I will say is very well done. And it shows very, very, very similar features to the original house. I don't know what this is talking about at all. I don't know if this is talking about the old original house or something else. I don't know. I again have no clue what this means. The only thing I may be able to think of is in Alpha, Rook used to have his visor down. That's literally it. I want to talk about these two things together because they're essentially the same exact thing. Of course, when it comes to cosmetics in any game, you're going to have your occasional wacky, silly ones. And you know what? I'm all good for it, even in a competitive game like Siege. I think the best example is the Rook cardboard set. This is of course talking about the second version of Stadium for the Road to SI event. Of course, these people didn't know there would be a second Stadium, or even if there would be a Stadium at all, given that this was a few months ago. I'm gonna be honest, I think I prefer the first Stadium over it, but you know, this one's still fine. I'm not exactly sure what this means. I know that 0bytes was a good and trusted data miner and leaker, but I don't know exactly what the rest means. I'm pretty sure u/ means Uplay account, so maybe his Uplay account got banned. I'm not exactly sure. This is a little bit of a joke in the R6 community, since Ubisoft released the Rainbow Six Quarantine trailer in June of 2019. A few months after that, the COVID quarantine started, so, This is that situation again where a certain skin is deemed as the quote-unquote elite skin for that operator, but this time I'm not too sure since, yeah, it could be just about any skin. I'm just gonna get these two out of the way right now since I have absolutely no clue what either of them mean. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna move on to the next one. Of course, data miners would find old maps that are unfinished or just completely scrapped. It makes sense that they would look cursed since, you know, they're not done yet. So, yeah. This is the final one, and I've been saving it for last for a reason. There is a very heavy trigger warning if you are easily disturbed. So please, if you are, click off this video because I am giving you this warning for the safety of yourself. If you truly are ready for what is about to come, then please, I will advise you one thing. Do not research it if you do not know. If you know, you know, but if you don't look into it. This is for your own safety and your own good.
Every alpha fact is personalized.
Okay, but seriously, despite this being a meme in Iceberg videos, it actually is true that you will get more cosmetics for operators you do have. I mean, it's more good, so, yeah. Hey, so if you're still sticking around, I just wanted to thank you for watching the entire video through. It took a lot of fucking time to put this thing together, and it really was a pain in the ass and really time consuming. But all the more, overall, it was fun, and I might do it again. So if you could please just tell me if you enjoyed this video, tell me if you'd enjoy something else. I'd try and see if I could do it. So again, just wanted to thank you for watching and sticking through the entire video, and hopefully I'll see you in a different video. God, I'm fucking stupid as shit.